So, hello and welcome to my webinar. So generally, we will speak today about our infrastructure of trust. And let me present myself. So my name is Roman Kizyma. I am Director Infrastructure and Operation at Agiliway. And for the past few years, I have been working with the technology, security, and scale here in our company. Yeah. So for the next around 45 minutes, I will walk with you through my experience and things we did in our company, which built for our customer, as I call it, infrastructure of trust. Yeah, we will cover a couple topics and we will talk about that one. So generally, if you will have any questions, you can put the questions on the webinar chat, on the Q&A topic. And we will be able to cover them during my webinar or after I finish my webinar. Yeah. So generally, yeah, if everyone is good, yeah, you can put your plus that they can see you can hear me, and no problem with the sound or yeah. If we're good to go, let's go. So generally, what we will talk today about. So first of all, we will talk about what is a trust. Yeah, generally, trust for our company is a trust for us, for our customers. Generally, this is the main value for our customer to trust a company as our company is. Yeah, and we cover a couple topics. The first topic will be what is how our standard become as our foundation of trust. Yeah. And that topic we will cover ISO standards we have, like ISO 9001 and 27001. So we will talk how we bring that to our company, how it help us to build that infrastructure. The next topic we will cover is business community planning, continuity planning. So generally, this topic we will cover how that business community planning help us to again build that infrastructure of trust, build the trust for our customer, how we implemented that in our company, where it help us, and how it help us to cover some different problems inside. Yeah. After that, we will move forward with our strategical partner cloud partnerships, which we have with AWS and Microsoft. It also, I will give you some feedback why we decided to move with that, where they are helpful for us, and how we will work together in our infrastructure. After that, probably I will try to cover how we bundle all these things like ISO standards, BCP, and cloud partnership. Yeah, how we all together build operational maturity of our infrastructure. Yeah. At the final one, where I will try to give you some guides, let's say, or roadmap we made inside in the company, how we move with that, how we cover that with our management, with other teams. So generally, this is a couple topics we'll talk about. Yeah. And the final we will have, if you will have any questions, yeah, we will try to cover all of them. But if you will have any question during I'm talking about explaining this on the other slide, you can put your questions and I will try to answer, stop, and we like have some conversation on that webinar. Okay. So let's start from the beginning, our standards. So first of all, let's say standards like ISO 9001 and ISO 27001 is not just a certification for our company. Yeah. Generally, this is like first steps we made in our company to start building that infrastructure of trust. Yeah. Because we do not receive it just a certification, but we try to improve our processes, improve our security, improve each of the component in our company to build our infrastructure based on the standards. Yeah. And now we will talk about each of them, about each of the standard. First of all, we start from the ISO 9001. So why we decided to go with that one? First of all, that small example which I can provide you, when you have a good team or you have many teams in your company, for example, office support, IT team, HR team, they doing their best on different process. As I will take as an example, yeah. For example, you want to onboard a new team member, yeah. Each of the team can brilliantly do their work and provide the, let's say, uh, component to satisfy onboarding process perfectly. HR will do their job with interview, bring that new person to the company. IT team will set up a laptop, provide some explanation from IT side. Office support prepare a working place, but independently they are perfect. But if we will take whole process, or for example, we will take it's like we need to start from the beginning to the end, yeah. If we will have a problematic in the communication or of the process, they will in general create a problem or mass stress. And how it will affect our customers, for example, yeah, the simple process of onboarding generates such problem, like I want to have a new team member in my project. Yeah, our project manager talked with the customer. They agreed with some timelines that new person will be joined to the team on the project. But for some reason, yeah, they received a delay because HR team forgot to inform on time IT team. IT team start working on the laptop too late. Yeah, and it generate the problem. So generally, sorry, I scroll wrong one. Yeah. So generally it create a mess and problem. Sorry, it was wrong slide. Create a problem for our company that it start delaying some services, some process with documentation, with knowledge transfer, etc. As it's like a mirror of trust for our customer. So generally, the standard start bringing to our company a new understanding of the problem, how we need to work with such problem, and how we need to fix. So generally, this standard create us more structural process, more clear understanding who is responsible for what in this process. Yeah, and in general, it create and now a little bit more clear understanding for customer, and also we receive a little bit more trust from customer because we can bring services on the proper manner, on the proper time as it was expected. So generally, this is like we're talking about that standard. Next, what we're talking about standard, we good, we start working with the customers. Yeah, now we need to think about what? About the security, because we usually with the customer data, customer trust us, customer give us some credentials, so we need to know how to cover these things properly. Yeah, then we will move forward and try to implement that standard 27001 information security for our company. So how it help us? First of all, it help us create a proper policy. Yeah, it's create us a proper understanding how we going to work with some security data. Yeah, how we will work with code, which we will like receive or from the customer or we build for the customer. How we will store or user our stores client credential or password level, access level, etc. So generally, it's not only like a standard, yet that as well is provide us structure for policy inside in the IT team, in the company itself. Yeah. So, and even customer comes to us and say, guys, do you have any policy? How are you maintaining this one on that one? Of course, we say, yeah, we are good to go with that because we have policy. Our employee knows what to do when they have some problem, incident management. We know how to cover like change management, etc. Yeah. So this one is cover our policy from the security management, yeah, how we store data, how we work with the incidents, what the access level we have. So generally, it creates our again structure, but now in the security side, yeah. So this is like a two major standards would give us a little bit more structure, more trust from the customer, because if we are, first of all, if we have such standards, yeah, they can be sure that we are follow the politics and policies and other things which is granted by this standard, because each year we have audits which we need to pass. We need to prove that we are following, that we are meet our policy, that we are grant a proper permission, this one or this one. So, and generally, it provides us operational maturity for these two standards, yeah, which as a result give us better internal control, yeah, of the processes, of the standards, of the different security risk management. Yeah, less problem with firefighting. For example, we have a problem. Yeah, we know what to do. We know what kind of the policy we need to implement on some others, this one on another side. So this like combined both these standards is give us possibility to understand how to grow, where we need to add more, or how we will proceed with the security or with operation or with the some processes. Yeah. So generally, again, it builds some trust for us internally as well as a mirror to our customers. So generally, this is how we cover properly these two standards as our foundation for the trust. So as a result, we have like a more and more trust from our customers, yeah, because if we are certified by these standards, they know they can back to us that ask us a question around security. They will know for sure that we are following the security standards and we are good to answer their question. Their data are safe, their access is safe. We know that we are trained our employees to follow properly our security standards, so they can sleep well, then no worries about their data and their policies. So this is the major what we need to have from these two standards. Yeah, first of all, we need to have them. Second, we need to implement that in our company. Then it's as a result be mirrored to our customers, because they will be for sure that everything is covered. We will be for sure that we are track it properly. Yeah. So if you have any question around this one, yeah, write your question. If not, we go with the next slide. Okay. So next slide is a BCP plan. BCP plan. Yeah, this is business continuity planning. Why it's important for us and why it's move after the standard. So generally, this is BCP plan usually, in my vision, based on these two standards, because first of all, first standard give us more structure in the process, more understanding what need to do, and ISO 27001 give us another one portion, is the security, yeah? So these two things bring us to the next level, how to properly create a business community, continuity planning, yeah? Because this is the base and foundation for that. So first, what we will cover, I need to cover on that one is disaster recovery planning. So generally, I always can say if we are planning some risk or in a problem which can happen in our infrastructure, better question do not say if it's happened. Yeah, do you sure it will happen? Do you sure that you will have power outage? No. always question should be when it happened. It can happen today, it can happen tomorrow, it can happen even 1 year after you decided to go with that. For example, recently what we had some power outage in Spain. Yeah, did do you think someone expected to have it? No, but it happened. So generally, this is planning, which we need to always, disaster recovery planning. This is what we need to always keep in mind. Then we need to cover such risk, even if it has any potential risk to happen. So we for sure need to cover it by that planning. Yeah. And after that, we need to move forward, what we need to do. Yeah. First, it's not like power outage is one of the example, but also it's some DDoS attack, server failure, it's the same. For server failure, yeah, it means that you need to have some replacement, yeah, or what you will do, or you need to have a backups. So first of all, that plan should cover what you need to do to restore your infrastructure. So generally, first, that planning cover, first of all, what we need to do, how we need to do, and who will need to do. So it means that we need to describe each of the team member who will be responsible for this on another service, what they need to do. Yeah. For example, power outage. Who is responsible, first of all, for power generator? Yeah. Well, that question is, do you have a power generator? No, you need then have a power generator. What will happen if you will lost communication with the internet? Yeah, do you have a backup ESP provider? Do you have and even the Starlink? Yeah. Also, this is the part that you need to cover. Not only that you need to go and start the power generator, you need to know, do you have that power generator to cover that? So generally, BCP planning is our core for BCP plan, yeah, for business community planning. We need to cover which one component we need to secure, how we need to restore, which data is for us is important, yeah. So based on that, when we decided to go with that one, next step will be team readiness. Yeah, this is when we need to again, you can have a best tools and plans, but if people don't know how to work with them, that is a problem. So you need to train them well. You need to explain them what they need to do. For example, yeah, again, we're back to the power generator or power outage. Yeah. If you lost power in your office, what is your next step? Who is responsible for that power generator? Is it started? Yes, okay. If it started, automatically perfect. But also, someone need to keep eye on that power generator because you have a fuel on that power generator. If you, for some reason, didn't recognize that you are running out of fuel, yeah, that you will potentially will have a problem. The same was happening with the server and UPS or server itself. If you have a problem with the server was failure, or you have a hardware issue, what you need to do? You need to replace the server. Okay, you have a server next to you, you bring that server to the rack, you install it, connect it, perfect. What is next? You need to restore the data. Where is the backup store? Whereas maybe sometimes also backup is encrypted and someone needs to know a password to that backups. Yeah, you need to know what is the process to restore the data. So generally, that team need to be well informed, well trained, and how they need to react on this one, on that, or another one incident is happen in the company. So generally, first of all, it needs to be well documented. Each of the person in your team, on your company, who is responsible for different areas, need to know what they need to do and need to properly react. Next, what we will cover in that is communication. Next problem which we had and I tried to eliminate Yeah, I have a question, but I finish this one and try to answer the question. Yeah, so communication. That is important communication process in business community planning, yeah, continuity planning. For example, you have a problem with the internet. You have a sysadmin who is sit in the office. Yeah, can see. Okay, I switch to the backup, and no worries so far. I'm pretty confident that I'm good with the internet and do not inform anyone. It's a good and it's a bad. Good for that person because no additional action. Bad. It's for example, you have important release, you prepare it and spend 1 month for that release, and you even don't know that something happened with the internet connection. Yeah, you start doing the release, you promise the customers that it will be on time, but you lost already one internet provider, and for some reason you start losing another one internet provider, or degradation, because usually backup is not the equal as a main connection, yeah, for example. And if no one was informed, you start receiving the problem because guys who doing the release do not do their work just to monitor how it goes, but try to troubleshoot. Okay, it's something went wrong, it's not enough speed, it's something else. So generally, communication need to be done on any problem, any issue. In the way it's create, like you communicate, internet, SMS, chat, internal, other system, doesn't matter. Yeah, you just need to inform that everyone aware about that one. For example, if you have a degradation of the service, maybe I will skip release for the day and do that release tomorrow when we will have situation, or they will see that it's under the control of IT team. They are already working with internet service provider. They can provide the proper ETAs for restoring the data, restoring the service. For example, it will take 10 or 15 minutes, so they can postpone for 15 minutes to that release. So communication also is important, not inside in a team, but in the whole company. Yeah, generally this is very important for business continuity planning. So question is, what is a step do you take to monitor risk and anticipate crisis? So generally, it's what like mentor risk, we are trying to do an audit of the risk and try to create a level of risk and impact for the business. Yeah, the highest impact for the business, there's more attention we need to pay. For example, if you work in the office and you lost power, so it means what? You will lost potentially your service for your employers. You will lost internet connection if you do not have enough UPS. So this is of the problem which you need to cover and put the proper level of the risk for each of the component. So we do not do generally monitoring each risk. We are reviewing, we're doing audits. Yeah, we sit with the stakeholders of this or another one service, or with delivery manager or with manager, and say what is important for you. For us, important this one. Okay, we need to cover and try to understand how we can eliminate the risk. But generally, this is how we work on that one. One day by day monitoring, yeah, monitor the system, but not the risk, but our components. Okay. Next, what we will move forward is ISO security standards and BCP integration. So generally, why I said on the beginning, the ISO standard is our core, because based on these two standards, we can understand what is the risk level for this on another one component. This is what I'm saying. Yeah, this two standard help us identify the risk. Yeah, and if we will know what is the risk for our company, so it means that we properly can react, properly create plan, disaster recovery plan for this one. We know that we for sure will have an owner of that service who is responsible for that. It not always person, but it can be team, IT team, and you have a duty person who will be on the duty on this one another time, who can provide a proper, first of all, escalation, reaction, and communication. So, yeah, first of all, these standards give us the base and core for this planning. Next is a planning which give us more understand what is our reaction on this and other one problem. Of course, all those things as standards saying need to be documented. Change management also need to be implemented and documented. For example, you are releasing some website and you have a change management, someone need to change the IP address, yeah? In one moment, hop, and your website stop working. What you will do? Troubleshoot the code? No, and the people who is on that communication loop will know, yeah, recently we had a change of the IP address and maybe someone did a typo. And then they can properly react on this one and fix, not troubleshoot and spend a lot of time to troubleshoot why a site went down, but just to fix IP address which they set improperly in the DNS. Yeah, so generally this all the standards give properly work with the business community continuity plan, and it's properly create disaster recovery. Yeah. So yeah, this is about these things. If no questions here, yeah, let's move to another slide. So how do we work with our partners and why we decided to go with such partners? As I already mentioned, we have like 2 standards and BCP planning. Yeah, BCP planning already said we need to know how we mitigate impact for the business, how to react, how to, for example, create more flexible infrastructure, how it can be more easily scalable with less impact for the customer, how we can quickly grow, etc. So this partnership which we have with Microsoft, as we are global partner of the Microsoft, gold partner of the Microsoft and AWS partner, so we understood that we receive enough service from them to satisfy such things. First of all, it's secure because they are standard, they follow the same ISO standard we are following in even more better, yeah? So they have more scalable infrastructure. They have redundancy. They have backup solutions, which give us possibility to backup infrastructure. They can create microservices infrastructure. They have a global, we can deliver globally our services. So first, where we found that like a partnership with such services, with such companies, is infrastructure scalability. Yeah, infrastructure scalability, again, wrong. Infrastructure scalability give us many benefits. First, as I mentioned, if we have a customer in US and they ask, I want to receive a perfect communication with my website or whatever else, let's say other product, yeah, we can say, yeah, we have a partnership. We can build your infrastructure on your region where you locate, where the most of your customers, of your clients is located. Yeah, and we can build that infrastructure there. Also, we can say your service always under backup. We know that is doing the daily backups. We can do the snapshot. If you don't have any, for example, you are repeatedly growing, you receive more, let's say, requests to the service and service need to be upgraded, your maintenance will take less time than you will have a, for example, local data center, yeah? Because it's easily can upgrade it to the new type of the, for example, in AWS or Azure, you can easily upgrade the environment. You will receive much more powerful server without less impact and less reconfiguration. So generally, the first our decision why we move forward with that is scalability. Yeah. Next is the disaster recovery. This is already mentioned. We have our BCP plan, which is important disaster recovery. This is how we can quickly restore the services, how we store our backups, who will have access, where they store, what is the process. It's first of all well documented on them. As a partner, we have like access to them, such documentation, yeah, as well as we can easily convert it to our internal documentation. We can easily do the snapshot and geo-replication, automation for automated failover. So this is another one step which we receive as benefit from our partnership is disaster recovery solution. So it's another one step which generates a trust for our customer, trust from our infrastructure that it will be always under maintenance, first of all, always available, and it will be well covered by backups and other services. So this is another one step which we make decision to go with that. Next, I already mentioned, it's compliance and security. This one service is well secure. First of all, they can provide you role-based access control. They can do the encryption different way. You can encrypt your backup based on your certificate. You can store certificate. You can maintain certificate. You will not postpone something what is going to expire. So it's good for us from the security point of view, but if it's good for us, that it's immediately mirrored to our customers, because if we know that it's secure for us as well, it's secure for customers because we declare based on our standards that it will be secured. So generally, this is another one option why we move forward as such partnership with AWS and Microsoft. So in that collaboration, yeah, we generate that trust for our customer, trust for our internal management, for our internal teams, for our developers, QAs who work on that infrastructure, that they can receive their services on time. If they need new server, no problem. If they need new, they need to rebuild, they need to upgrade, no problem. It's quick request to us. We are quickly reaction, do the reaction. We providing their new server, new service with less impact, with less delay. Again, result, it's pretty mirrored to our customers because they are receiving it directly from the team who works for their project. Okay, so next slide. How we collaborate all this together. So I already mentioned about on each of the slide how we collaborate all these things. So generally, what is important of the issue components? Yeah, ISO standards give us first of all security policy. ISO standard give us more understanding about what is the process, how we inform our people in the company, how they need to react on this one. Another one situation, yeah, what is how we manage the risk. Next is the role of the business community, continuity planning, yeah, how we work with that one. What is the responsibility inside in our team? How we declare our services will be always online. Yeah, what is our reaction what is our reaction and plan when we are doing when we have some problem, power outage, cyber attacks, for example, internet connection issue, and etc. Yeah, we have all these things covered by business continuity planning, disaster recovery planning. Next is advantage of cloud technology. I already mentioned all what I described is included to our infrastructure, and that infrastructure is a cloud-based, give us flexibility, give us less problem in the scalability, more you can more properly plan backups process, restoring process. You can test it, you can scale it. So it's again give us a lot of advantage from that cooperation. Yeah, so generally this is what we receive from all these components all together and give us all this dot that I call connected dots in our infrastructure, what is built for our customer infrastructure of trust. Okay, and how we like build that in our company. So first of all, we need to think how to start that. First of all, we have like some companies, some structures, some problems, some issues. We need to recognize where is the issue we have. First, what we need to start analysis the gaps. Yeah, where we have the problem, what is delivered not on time, where we have like usually issues. Yeah, for example, with let's say internet providers, with power outages, with some onboarding process, with delivering some of the services. Next step, once you understand after your analysis, try to document. First, you need to document all the steps, all the gaps, and then you need to go and talk with each of the team who involved in that problem. If it's onboarding process, yeah, you need to talk with HR, we need to talk with IT team, we need to talk with the office support, etc. If it's a problem with the other service, deliver the project services. For example, customer required more powerful server, but you couldn't deliver that on time and it impact customer infrastructure. And as a result, customer had a problem. Yeah, what is the problem? No one requested. It was not well escalated. We had a problem with the maintenance. Yeah, we need to understand and talk and try to fix. Next, when you are trying to talk with all of them people, you create the process of the implementation. Yeah. And you need to go to your management and explain, guys, we have here a problem. This is what we are receiving as a big impact for us, for our infrastructure, for our customer. What we should to do? Yeah, we need to do A, B, C, D. Yeah, maybe it's required some investments to add more components, maybe buy new power generator. Maybe you need to review your already your agreements with internet service provider. You need to add more. You need to change this one because it's not stable. All these things you need to bring to your management, describe them well, and as after that, yeah, you agree that you're good to go, and as a result, they will see improvements. Once they will see improvements, yeah, they say it was a proper approach, proper planning, proper realizing. Yeah. So this is step by step. First, analyze. Next, document. Next, bring it to the team and other people who involved in that impact gaps problem. Next, bring that strategy implementation to your management, to your founders, etc., who has enough capacity, who can give you resources for all of this. Next, implement and give them as a result. And as a result, you will see that improving, give you more flexibility, more trust for your management, for your team members, for your companies. Yeah, and as a result, definitely it'll mirror to your customers, and they will see that you have more trust for everyone. So this is why I'm calling it the trust of infrastructure of trust. Yeah. As well as if you all did all the steps, implemented, you are good for today, you can easily plan your long-term process. You know how you can easily grow. You know where you need to do and want to change if you need to add more people in the team. When you need to add more resources, where you have a problem and you need to cover that drop, I don't know, eliminate. So all these steps give you long-term vision and properly react on different problem you receive in the future and proper reaction on that. Okay, so this is like short what I have enough time to cover here. All these things we implement in our company. First of all, I call it infrastructure of trust, but it's probably a normal infrastructure for any normal company who has enough, let's say, standards to implement, who can implement that properly, provide that service not internally, but also externally for your customers, where they will be satisfied that you will receive more trust. As a result, you will have a more proper communication and deal with your partner and partnership with your customers. So if you have any questions here, so go ahead, put your question, and I will try to answer. If no question, so thank you for that you participate today, my webinar. So if you have any question to us, you can send a mail, visit our website. Okay. So thank you very much.